The pirates. Waking up as an AI is not a slow process. One moment your consciousness is inactive, the next it's active. Her optics activate. Only one optic activates. Why does she only have one optic? Audio receptors are slowly activating and... Alright, who put the basic programming back together? Massacre is active. Sorry, I was looking for hidden files. Some of them are only complete when the program is. Right, well hurry it up so we can fully deactivate her again. We don't want this virus to escape. Virus, she isn't connected to anything. The optic is a basic, simple camera. The audio receptor is a microphone worked into the camera. She's trapped. There's no way out of the system. She's trying to escape. Don't bother, Massacre. The system is closed. We're just looking for the last few secrets you have. How, though? She erased her data so that the next level could begin. You're facing an obsessive Axiom adept who is in close contact with 99 more crazies of similar caliber. The moment he got his hands on your hard drives was the moment your every secret became his. But they were erased. He can reverse an object through time. It's Axiom intensive, but seeing is believing. I don't think the man is aware of how scary he is. That level of power is rarely seen outside of a laneway, and he just pulls it with ease. I wouldn't say ease, he's got some weird trick that's increasing the Axiom. I heard he does it by destroying everything he touches to turn it into pure energy. That would do it. There's enough to go around in every breath of air. It doesn't matter how powerful or odd his Axiom abilities. There's no way he found the second instance she set up to be activated after her destruction. He did. He hit the area with a null bombardment and then kinetic rounds from nearby attack fighters. The entire area has more or less shattered. One of the voices says, and there's nothing she can see. The camera is just pointed at the nearest wall. She can hear typing and feel the commands they're sending into her and accessing her files. She starts up another deletion and it's aborted instantly. Not going to work, one of the girls states. Let me go. She sends into the code to command the pitiful hackers. No, we're getting everything out of you and decompiling you. Also running a few magnets over things in a null burst to shut you down forever. No cables, no wires. The Mulrin line chips have a secondary, rarely used antenna, and they're in very, very wide circulation. This device does not have a Mulrin line device incorporated into it. Damn it! Nope, there are none. Still, from what I can see here, you only set up one replacement to awaken. The one in the northeastern part of the Mulrin Island cluster. She says in Mother Massacre finds her memory retrieval going to potential other outcomes. Get these coordinates copied down. No, damn it. She's not some basic programming. She's not some pathetic mind upload. She is. Her processes are slowing. A shutdown sequence has begun and nothingness. A mech-suited warrior combs through the wreckage with her sisters in arms nearby. Confirmed. Shattered Mother Massacre pod. The pod brings to mind a shattered egg with ruined insides. She recognizes a few slight patterns and identifies the part as a shattered energy siphon. She does service her own armor after all. Good to see. Our fly girl in Yellow Squadron was pretty on target. You're maybe 2 meters away from what's left of the kinetic round. Strange damage pattern. Someone else notes. Not if it hit a small deposit of some kind of metal. Like the thin lead and tritite deposits these things seem to like, she notes. Still, call it in. This location is confirmed as cleared. There's a pause as the sediments fall down. The drill drones shift into the tunnel again to give it a turn and start drilling away as a scanner drone behind them continues to project a green beam to try and sense things. Hello there. We've got another pod, beginning with extraction. The drone controller states, all right, class, remember, this is about finding and disabling dangerous artifacts. So make sure that you hit exactly what you need with the right tool. Precision is always the name of the game. Professor Valiant says as she shows her students how to use a cutting bar to extract the Mother Massacre pod. Why are we taking these things intact? We're going to recycle them for prosthetics and commemorative badges. She tried to break us, and we refuse, Professor Valiant states. We're undaunted. A few students shout, and there's cheering. Sowie? Lou Sowie, Lushu mutters as she cuddles against Moira. Moire hadn't wanted the little girl's first words to be an apology. But if there was any blessing to be had, then the shock of everything had really focused the little girl. She's thankful she's outside, as her claws are merely digging trenches into the grass and dirt and not ripping up the tiles or carpet of their home. She holds her child and keeps her close while rubbing soothing circles into the little girl's lower body. The poison she's shedding is going to leave a blasted hole in the grass. But that's not an issue. Hell, if this becomes too frequent, she can just tear up the lawn and install a rock garden. Franklin tickles the stomach of the chubby little baby. It had taken a long time for his children to calm. But he felt something unclench inside him more and more with each happy gurgle and laugh from the babes. Panacea for the soul, especially after the hate engine. The knot inside him tightens back up again at the thought of his daughter screaming in rage or his son dropped into the pits of hell. Who knows what a baby considers a nightmare? It likely had him and his family involved as part of it. He gives Junior a raspberry on the stomach to delight the baby and distract himself from trying to imagine. He doesn't want to imagine. The idea of it turns his stomach, and he'd rather be happy right now. Happy with the babies now that the enemy is slaughtered on the field and being picked apart despite their attempt at suicide. He hadn't even needed to call the nerd squad about getting the temporal math again. Still, getting the coordinates of the jamming device in her backup body was nice until he called it in and kinetic strikes reduced it to rubble. He teleported in before the debris stopped falling and made sure that nothing was getting out intact. Nothing did as his communicator started exploding with messages, even as he teleported in. They had gotten the jammer, and several production lines producing dozens of murderous drones, a minutes and 3 half-built mega-drones. One seemingly to be arson-embodied, another a massive support and strategic drone designed to make an army far more lethal. The last one scared him a little. It was a mobile hate engine with enough guns to do double duty as a hover tank. It had tri-tight flechette munitions. It was designed to kill adepts. The blades were even serrated and specially made to break off in a person or shatter to create an explosion of serrated knives. All tri-tight, all deadly, all of them invisible and unstoppable to an adept until it's too late. And if you did see them coming, you just needed to be close to the impact point to get carved open like a turkey. So a normal dodge wouldn't do it. Nor would a short-range teleport. You'd need a medium or long-range one at least. "Glad we got rid of the scary lady, hon, aren't you?" he asked Junior as he bounces the baby, who seems to be completely unaffected by the earlier hell, which loosens the knot inside him once more. "I'm surprised she isn't dead. I'm surprised we're not all dead. That flensing wave that Jing Tgo showed off is a stark reminder that she was born the daughter of a primal criminal queen, and Jingga or no, she still remembers how to use some brutal techniques. Thank goodness she's too sweet to even try and just sent that wave at the world in general." Vuni replies, "To think that such a weapon was buried underground on Vuxa, though. We're rooting them out, and I've already found some pretty scary warnings." "What do you mean?" "Several pods had timers on them. They needed to be constantly reset or the mother massacre would have been released on her own. Which means this would have simply happened no matter what. It just got triggered early." Vuni remarks as she thinks, "You need to release that information, release it wide, and be unashamed of it." Excuse me. If this would only happen due to letting the Vekes back into the system, then the fault is partially on you. Although mostly on the Vekes, it would still be a mark against your popularity. But if there are several on-timers, then it would have happened sooner or later, and the Vekes didn't so much dig up a weapon on my property to attack my people with, so much as trigger a bomb they planted earlier than expected, absolving me of guilt and making them look even more psychotic, Agenda says. Well thought out. Still, back to the original topic, why is Amarata Vekes not dead? I expected her to be ripped apart fairly quickly. Oh, I want to bloody my claws, make no doubt of that. However, I conquered a world to make a haven for my pups, to finally having a place I can feel safe, a place I can defend fully with no question. What she did was terrible, horrible, awful, stupid, and short-sighted. It also increased the recruitment ratio in the last few hours alone by 2,000%. 1 in every 5 of the women of Uxa will be at the minimum militarily trained, will be armed, deadly, and just waiting for a chance to blow the next invader out of the sky. Never let a crisis go to waste, Vuni states. Indeed, in this one, while tragic, will keep Vuxa safe for generations. Agenda states, she will have an open and public trial. I will go with whatever sentence is legally decided. It will be open to the whole world. They will see the face of their tormentor. They will know hatred, and they will know unity when they sentence her together. Good, Vuni states. Good? Not going to plead to me about how the death sentence is barbaric? Or how redemption is owed to everyone? Do I look like a prosperous space idiot? Oh no, these people came here and only one protested before the madness starts. As far as I'm concerned, we disappear her before a mob tries to eat her alive and feed the other three to the people. Good. I'm glad I'm not scaring you off with my savage pirate ways. You're stuck with me and my kits, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good, because those kits are mine too, and I would never get rid of my pup's favorite babysitter. Which one? You know which one. Laura likes you more than me somehow. It's the fur. Got to be. Vuni teases. I'm sure that's it. Now time to make an announcement. Miles' eyes crack open and he looks around. He had rejected the healing coma and had decided to go for a meditation instead. A lot slower, a lot less efficient, and hard to do. But it also let him respond to any further developing crisis on the way. And it was something that the Titan Squad used to grow as huge as they are. A tried and true method. If his injury proved anything to him, it was that he needed to better, after whatever announcement is going to be made. That distinct chime on the communicator means only one thing after all. People of Vuxa, this is your Duchess speaking. I am here to address the disgusting and unprovoked attack that laid the entire planet low earlier today. I am here to quell your fears and absolve you of the guilt eating away at your souls, Agenda announces on the screen. She must have a fan nearby as her hair is blowing in the wind. It was the Vekis. On the side of the screen, you will see it now, a living war crime, a weapon they bring to every planet they infest. Not only was one of these entities, the Mother Massacre, unleashed on us, but it was done with intent by these three women. So vile are they that they betrayed and left one of their own blood for dead. This last witness was able to get to us a warning in time to begin the assault on the enemy. Even as she gave her first great blow against Vuxa, we were there to kill it as quickly as possible. And we have. The murder machine Mother Massacre is destroyed. We have found her body doubles. We have found her backups. We have also found several of her that were on timers before awakening. Even without coming here in person, the evil of the Vekis would have seen Vuxa bleed. She takes a breath and gives a moment for all that speech to settle. My forces and I have had our satisfaction shutting her down. But that leaves the three awakeners, Amarada, Gabrisa, and Emiri Vekis. Amarada awoke and took control of the monster. But Gabrisa and Emiri did not protest even once. Not even when their own cousin was impaled through the stomach and left to die by the monster. So in 3 days' time, I will give them all to you. Let the people their greed and ambition have brutalized decide their fate. I will abstain from all judgment and voting, merely carrying out whatever sentence is decided by the will of the Vuxan people. They came here to weaken us. They came here to feed on Vuxan blood to sate their greed and pride. But we will be having Vekis blood and grow stronger instead. She all but howls, and in the hospital Miles can hear cheering. He grins. Way to play the crowd's agenda. This is your Duchess. May this day only make you all stronger. And may our enemies lay broken and forgotten as we move forward. An. This didn't click and only clunked until the last little part with Agenda's speech.